replay block it properly. There we go. Okay, we are good to go on MASTERdutch versus Whispering. In the top left we have MASTERdutch as Japan, and in the bottom right we have Whispering as Dutch. Don't confuse this. So, are you ready, Aragon?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm actually kind of hyped for this game because it's two powerhouse civs, Dutch against Japan.
Well, I wouldn't call Japan a powerhouse civ, but you know, I'm trying to get them buffed. So, but anyway, I'm starting the recording in 3, 2, 1. As usual, we will fast forward a bit in the early game, of course, unless we see some treasure contentions. We might possibly at 1 minute 40 have one over this 80 food, but yeah. Okay, he's too late, so forward a bit. We will look at the treasures when they are going to Colonial. See what they have gathered. Okay, and I'm now at 3 minutes exactly.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the treasures. Some coin. Food for Japan's pretty nice. Food for Dutch. Yeah. Pretty balanced treasures.
Small treasures.
Yeah, one big food one, but the sugar shrine for Japan, of course. Let's take a look at Dutch. I would assume quartermaster. Yeah, and 3 villagers for Dutch. Japan shipping Heavenly Kami, very standard.
And Japan's actually picking up 135 XP treasure right now.
That's pretty nice, actually. Getting your H2 shipments out nice and early is pretty nice. Let's take a look at the deck. Oh, interestingly enough, Japan actually does not have Naginata HP in H3, which is a really strong card.
Dutch has already made a TP before a bank.
Oh, I do see it. I'm at 4 minutes now.
You're at 4 minutes.
Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, I do see it. I had it selected, so it showed up as white on the minimap.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and Japan might actually be looking at this 2 sheep treasure. I'm not sure how good of a treasure that really is for Japan. Oh no, it's just he wants to make a shrine there. Never mind.
Well, he could use them to, you know, boost up his shrines.
Yeah, that's pretty insignificant. Unless the game goes really long, that's not going to matter much. But yeah, due to that experience treasure, he actually has 2 shipments ready for when he reaches Colonial, which is really nice. Dutch actually sending pike first and building 5 pike from a forward racks, so we're going to see some pretty aggressive play here.
We're going to see some cheesy play here. There is no bank up for Dutch, ladies and gentlemen. This is a straight up cheese rush. Maybe he'll send 8 pikes.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, yeah.
And,
8 pikes coming out.
Japan actually notably aged with no villagers on the Wonder, which is really devastating if the Dutch player has such an aggressive rush planned for him. The thing is though, like if Japan, I'm not sure if he has a card in his deck, yeah, if he just scouts it and sends in list irregulars, these spikes are not going to do anything besides sieging shrines. And I think they are going, no wait, yeah, they are going to siege these shrines. I thought for a moment they would just right click on the TC, but wisely killing these shrines first. I will have to see if Japan cancels this 4 villager shipment to maybe send something more tempo based. And he actually has an unfinished cherry orchard here, and I'm not sure where his wagon is. Oh, there it is. I was a bit worried I might like pass these pikemen, but no, he's fine.
Yeah, maybe he's forgotten about it because it looks pretty idle.
No, it's building now. 2 rags going up for Japan, but I feel like these pikemen could just go there and siege those before they finish. I don't agree with going for the consulate first. You could totally kill these barracks before they finish. Especially before they finish a batch of units. Irregulars coming out for Japan. These of course do have a bonus against pike, I think. I'm pretty sure they count as siege units. Consulate goes down, so no bestiaries until he rebuilds it, but he has the wood too, and he is immediately rebuilding it as well. And they go back to sieging some shrines. Let's see if there's more pike in queue now. The next batch was 2 skirmishers. Not ideal, of course. You want to have full batches of 5 when possible. I feel like this would be a lot more powerful if Whispering actually made a church and got a single spy out, and I'm I'm not joking here, actually. That can be very devastating for Japan. If there's just like a single spy running around and just one-shotting your explorer so you can't rebuild the shrines. It's something Ace actually does quite frequently. Market for Japan coming up, and Dutch still has no market, no bank. This is incredibly all in from Dutch. If this does not win him the game, he is probably going to lose. And Japan has some Yumi here, and I'm not sure what these skirmishers are going to do now. They are just going to get shot by these Yumi, and they are going to die. Because that's what pikemen do against Yumi. They get shot and they die. The constant is up as well. Bestioros are in the queue. Oh, nice pike flank though.
What minute are you at?
I'm at minute 7:30.
Okay.
Civil servant coming in from Japan, and yeah, this spike flank is actually going to take off quite a couple of Yumi here. Luckily, the barracks that is producing the Yumi is not the one that's being sieged down, but there's just so many pikes dying to these Yumi that they DC fire, and now these Bestieros that popped out.
Still no banks for Dutch, so he is pretty bad economically.
Yeah, Dutch is just all in. There is no way he can recover from this if this doesn't win, or at least a severe damage.
He also only has 18 villagers, and he's not producing anymore at the moment.
Okay, all the pikemen are dead, and I think this game... well, Dutch isn't really under any pressure at the moment. He's just too far behind economically to do anything this game. He might have a second TP, but that doesn't really matter. I don't think he has any relatively useful shipments left when it comes to an all-in rush like this. And yeah, he's just shipping a bandwagon to try and recover. But
and making a stable here, maybe gonna add some Hussar.
Yeah, he is pretty heavy on ranged infantry at the moment, Japan that is. So a Hussar badge could surprise him. But we all know that Yumi still do relatively well against Hussar if they can get a large enough mass to stand still and shoot. But he's even sending the Daimyo as well, and very smartly adding in some Ashigaru Musketeers. He just needs a couple of Yumi to beat the pikes, beat the skirmishers, and now he just needs to go pure Ashigarus to protect his Yumi.
Yeah, Dutch looks like he's pretty much on the back foot here. Just now, well, he's now gonna have 3 banks at 9 minutes.
I don't think that matters. He's too far behind on villagers. Japan is on 200 shrine population. Japan went 2, or Dutch went 2 and went 2 all in. Only just now adding in a market, while Japan already has 2 or 3 market upgrades. And just the army as well. Just look at Japan's mass. He has the Daimyo as well now, which just has 650 hit points and 30 hand attack if he does want to put it in combat with something. And also very importantly, this can make Naginata riders now without the need of building a stable. He's also unallied with Portuguese, but he hasn't re-allied with anything yet, so he does need to remember that, hopefully.
Yeah, now that Dutch wants to make something other than pikes, he's quickly realizing he doesn't have the gold to make both villagers and gold units.
Yeah, Dutch of course needs gold to build his villagers. He's getting out some skirmishers, but just look at this Japan mass. He has 19 Yumi. And we all know how much Yumi shit on all the ranged infantry. Especially now that the Daimyo is here giving them the boost. Just, 20 range damage, because why not? At the moment, of course, they don't have way of the bow, so the skirmishers do outrange them.
Yeah, that is true. I would like to see actually this Daimyo coming in here.
Yeah, I mean, if this Daimyo just runs forward and starts attacking these skirmishers, a Daimyo 4-shots a skirmisher, and also, more importantly, snares them. But I think all the Ashigarus actually got picked off.
And this positioning here is actually very good for Japan, because he can't get a surround on him.
No, and more reinforcement, Ashigaru coming in, going in hand attack, and the Hussar like, nope, I don't want to be here anymore. Wisely running away. And there were some samurai in queue, but I figured that was a mistake, and Japan actually going to fortress here. While Dutch, I wouldn't be surprised to see nowhere close to aging up. Yeah.
Well, right now, Dutch managed to mass up 11 Hussar. He's about to pop out more skirmishers. Now would be the time to engage and try to get back into this game.
Especially since
now
Japan is aging. But there's still, let's see, there's 9 Ashigarus here, and that's quite a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
this Hussar
But he does
mass,
have 11 skirmishers. I mean, with proper micro, he could deal with this army right now.
for sure,
It's
but
now.
the problem is he can't know for sure that Japan is aging up. For all he knows, there's like reinforcement batches of 10 Ashigaru just streaming out of these double Raxes. But yeah, he realizes he needs to do something. He just has to pray that Japan is aging up and that he can do a very decisive push here.
Oh, you
Ashigaru is
could
going
use
in
his
melee
Ashi
mode,
here. No.
and Hussar dying. The skirmishers are nicely focusing the Ashigarus, but the problem is these Yumi are just raining death on these skirmishers, and once these skirmishers are thinned out enough, these Ashigarus can just push without any kind of punishment being able to be dealt out to them.
And I like that he's not grouping in the Ashi with the Yumi, because they are actually quite a bit faster, so he can just pop in and out of the battle.
Yeah, I personally don't do that. I just drag box, A move, and I hope it works. And he actually, I did saw him get the military rickshaw from the Japan consulate, and I'm not sure if he has built anything with it yet. It must be
I don't.
somewhere, unless he cancelled it, of course.
I can't find it.
But yeah, he reached Fortress now. Is shipping. I don't like shipping flaming arrows first. I think that's a horrible shipment. They are more Culverin than Falconet, and you don't need Culverins against an H2 Dutch player. I much would have preferred either. Oh well, Dutch resigns, but I would have much preferred either this close combat shipment or just 8 Ashes, or if you want to go more economically, the 7 villagers. 2 flaming arrows is just a really, really bad shipment when you're on the offense. It's pretty good defensively against other artillery, but you just don't want to send it offensively. It just doesn't do anything. But anyway, game 1 goes over to MASTERdutch. So we'll go to the next game. I think it's this one. Okay, I have the game loaded in.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And it seems MASTERdutch is once again playing Japan, but Whispering switching to Aztec, and Aztec is a really good civ against Japan. I'm starting the recording in 3, 2, 1, go. We're of course going to again fast forward a bit unless we see some treasure contention, which we might have here at 1 minute 15 over this 100 wood treasure.
Judging by his game style last game, he should have played Aztec last game. Maybe this game it will go a lot better for him, because if he wants to pike rush, I mean, Aztec is the civ to do it with.
Yeah, he just didn't do enough damage with this all-in pike rush style as Dutch. We'll have to see if he does any better as Japan. Let's quickly see if any other major treasures have been picked up. Nope. So it's just a fight over this 100 wood. I feel like the Aztec player should win this just because his explorer is stronger and he has a polar bear.
Oh,
And yeah, Japan
polar
forced
bear
the move. Japan actually wisely sending his second monk there to take a look, but he's actually sieging the shrine instead of going for the treasure. I didn't even know these polar bears could siege actually.
Oh, they can, but it's not very high, obviously.
And Japan wisely focusing the polar bear instead of the explorer. Let's see where... Oh, he actually stunned the polar bear. His second monk is just scouting. I'm not sure if I like that, and I feel like that's a bit unnecessary. Judging by what this Aztec explorer was doing, I probably would have just gone straight for this 125 wood treasure in the middle of the map. I guess he's just waiting for his convert.
Actually, I don't think polar bears can siege. Where did you see that?
Well, he was like whacking the shrine.
I don't think they have siege damage.
No, they don't. That's why I was so surprised. But he was whacking the shrine. But yeah, he was just waiting for his convert to get this 100 wood treasure with as minimal damage as possible. But he's actually going to lose one of his converted polar bears, I think. Yeah, Divine Strike plus 25 experience. And let's see. I assume this is at the Shogu Shrine. Let's take a look at Aztec. Aztec is aging with the messenger. So yeah, we're going to see a fast age up. We see villagers going forward. So He's actually also fertility dancing at the moment. Usually they dance on experience.
I don't think he ever changed that.
Yeah. Also, wisely actually pulling back his forward villagers a bit so that they do not get scouted by the explorer. Pretty smart play. But Japan is going to need to get some walls up pretty quickly if this is a rush. Actually, this forward warhead is actually really late now that I think about it.
Yeah, and it's not very forward either.
No. I think that's a pretty big mistake by Whispering, actually. I wonder what he was doing. Normally the warhead is finished before they reach Colonial.
No, I think Aztec has to gather the 400 wood to make the warhead.
Maybe not before reaching Colonial. Actually, if only a single villager on this Toshogu Shrine as well, I think maybe putting 2 on them might be good against Aztec. And we see a wall going up between the consulate and the TC. I really like that a lot. It gives a nice defensive position. Although I would like a second wall connecting the consulate with the gold mine, just to give a nice wedge to put your units in. But we'll have to see what he does. But yeah, Aztec army is going to be super late due to this late warhead. Japan actually does not have a lot of shrines though, so he's probably doing something with the wood. Oh, never mind. He was just busy building his shrines. There we go. 70 shrine pop for Japan. 600 wood as his first shipment. Aztec sending 5 coyotes first, and he's probably also gonna get a full batch of coyote out. Although he does have a lot of villagers on wood instead of food. It's probably gonna be a batch of 4. Oh wow, even 3 only. Yeah, I feel like he mismacroed that a bit. Not getting a full batch of coyotes out.
Well, here we go. He's pushing in here with this coyote. Can you get any
I'm not
villagers?
sure what this building was that got cancelled, but... yeah, we do see some extra walls going up for Japan, which I do like. There is nothing between the consulate and the Toshogu Shrine, but there's a couple of trees there that can block some units, which is really nice as well. Market coming up. He's pretty far away from being able to send Bestiaros though, so we'll have to see what pops out of this barrack. Ashigarus. And actually there's nothing in queue for Aztec at the moment. And he's still on this fertility dance as well. Which is weird because he can't actually produce anything at the moment. He doesn't have the resources. I feel like he's macroing pretty poorly at the moment. He has 200 wood.
Japan actually managed to get up some interesting walls here. His one cherry orchard is not very protected, but it is behind the market.
I think it's relatively safe. It's really close to the town center, so... Yeah, Aztec is just not making anything. He has no resources. And he's still in this fertility dance, which he just cannot support. And his 5 coyotes just ran in and was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess we stand here and siege this consulate, but then the TC shoots them and they're like, well, I guess we run away. Then Maze being the next shipment for Aztec, I really think he needed to send 5 villagers at some point. He just cannot make army at the moment. He has no eco. Meanwhile, Japan is at 23 villagers and 120 shrine pop. And still just gathering wood even though he cannot spend it, the Aztec player. Some Yumi out for Japan now and he's getting pretty close to the...
Well, he's managed to siege down 1 shrine. And, well, Japan doesn't have... he is at 110 population. Shrine population.
Yeah, and the longer Aztec just keeps sending military shipments but not doing anything with them, he just falls further and further behind, especially against a civ like Japan, which is just happily sitting behind these walls and just booming.
And he's gonna lose his hero now. What minute are you at?
I'm at 726.
Okay, yeah.
And Japan is just also getting good market upgrades like civil servants. Very influential market upgrade, especially if he follows it up with imperial bureaucracy, but I don't think he'll have the resources for that. And shipping the Bestiaros and then cancelling the Portuguese relationship. Yeah, he did lose 1 monk, so his shrine booming is going to fall a bit behind here. But at this point I feel like he got enough benefit of his shrines. I mean, he's not getting pressured at all. He got away with shipping 4 villagers twice. His base is relatively safe.
He's picking up more treasures here. He needs to really do something though. Like you said, Japan just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
Finally shipping 5 villagers. I would like to see Japan expand the walls a bit now, though. He has the resources, he has the time. He could build a wall between like the top right tip of his Toshugu and the consulate to make that a full wall. And then maybe from the consulate to that shrine over there, just to have like a nice little fallback position for his infantry. It would cost him maybe like 30, 40 wood. Totally worth it. But yeah, Aztec is just not doing anything, it's just running around the map, grabbing like a couple of treasures, sieging a couple of shrines, but these coyotes don't have a lot of siege, so it's not even doing that much. Japan is at 140 shrine pop. Still in this fertility dance with a single war priest, although now he can actually support fertility dance, so it's not the worst.
He still only has one warrior priest though.
Yeah, he does have the 3 warrior priest in his deck. I feel like that needs to be sent at some point. And yeah, Japan is actually Japan just feels comfortable enough to just push out of his base.
He does have a mostly Yumi here though. Coyote are the counter to that.
Yeah, and he does notice that, so he doesn't go too far away from his base. He just wanted to get those coyote off those shrines. I do like that. Getting Imperial Bureaucracy now though, and that's just going to make Japan eco so much better. Aztec does also have a market, but they don't have access to tier 2 market upgrades, so they can never get things like steel traps like other civs can. Yeah, Japan does need to be careful here though. That's a lot of coyote, and he is on mostly Yumi. He does have 13 Ashigaru now though, with a couple more in queue. I feel like his next shipment might be the Daimyo or something, so he can add in some Naginata riders. And then he can really just push out and just crush the Aztec player. Let's see if he has sent... no, he sent Mace. Oh, the camera chirping around a bit.
I think right now Japan, Aztec can win this fight maybe.
Yeah, he does have the attack dance, but there's only a single war chief, so it's not that big of a change. But there's more reinforcing actually coming in here, and once these coyote get thinned out enough, even though they counter the Yumi, if there's not enough of them, the Yumi will still win. But yeah, the Aztec player is getting a lot of experience here as well, of course, which is very nice. So all the Ashi being cleaned up here, and I feel like there is enough coyote left that they can really do damage to these Yumi archers, but there is a reinforcing batch of Ashi in queue, there's a Daimyo on the way. Let's see if anything's being shipped.
I think the Daimyo is going to be game-changing here.
Yeah, the Daimyo not only buffs the attack, but it also just allows the training of cavalry. It's also just a really strong unit. You don't want to fight with it, because if it dies, it just sets you back a lot. But when you see a good opportunity to get your Daimyo onto something like these Mace, or on something like Falconets, you should totally take it. And the Shogun even more, so if you do get that one out, that guy is just a monster on a horse. But I feel like Japan is very stable here. He has 170 shrine pop, 35 villagers with really good market upgrades. Meanwhile, Aztec is at 30 villagers with only a single war priest.
And Aztec needs to clean some of these shrines here, and that's what he's doing. That's a good job there. But like, maybe he can just get one. Yeah, it may be a little too late, but that's what he should be doing here. And he's falling back, actually. He sees that he's got a Daimyo, and he just wants to run back.
Japan now, on the Japan consulate, is able to make these clubs. And these are really good against Coyote.
The Yamabushi?
Yeah, just look at their 10 Hadak with the times 5. Well, actually I guess it's times 3.5 because it's light infantry, not cav. But, well, 11 now with the Daimyo buff. Compare it to the Ashi, if I can find one. Is there any Ashi still alive somewhere? Yeah, right here, let's see. The Ashi only have 10 with it times 2 multipliers, so...
I think your game may run a little bit slower than mine.
I'm at 12 minutes 55.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, sending 5 ashes for the second time. I do like that overstanding one of the attack upgrades at the moment, because you just really need ashes against Aztec. Unless you're fighting from behind the wall. This is probably going to be the final fight if Japan wins. Oh, and Ash is popping out of the Daimyo. Daimyo is probably going to get sniped here though, but just look at these Japan units just cleaning everything up. Oh, he's not even going to get the Daimyo.
That Ashy popped from the Daimyo.
Yeah, and there were 2 or 3 clubs in there just completely smacking those Coyote into oblivion. Now the clubs even got onto the mace and Aztec resigns.
He baited all these coyotes to kill the daimyo and popped out 10 ashy
shipment. That it's so risky to go for the daimyo with melee units. You never know when like a shipment will pop out of them. It can be so dangerous. I once had a daimyo and a shogun, and both of them were making a full batch of 10 units. Obviously I wasn't in this role because I had a shogun. So both of them were making a batch of 10 units. And at the same time, I was shipping the H4 Ashy card, so I popped out like 24 Ashes and 10 clubs on a bunch of Hussar. You have to be really careful when devoting to
yeah, for sure. That was risky.
So yeah, the series goes to MASTERdutch with a 2-0 sweep. And I believe this was the final series for today.
Yeah.
So thanks to Mr. Bramboy and Aragon for joining me and casting these wonderful games.
Sure, thanks for streaming, Chrissy. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We tried to stream a couple of the lower range of PR games today, so we could maybe have a more educational stream, point out some more obvious errors that the lower level players sometimes make. So we are here to help you improve and of course provide as much entertainment as possible. This was the ESOC Autumn Tournament group stage, and we hope to see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching.